I've had this laptop for a couple months well now, but unfortunately I brought it back to the Microsoft store to trade in for the Dell 7559. Not because the laptop was totally shit, but because it wasn't what I expected it to be. But without any further ado, let's take a look. Now, to keep the price range within the 500 to the high 600 range, Dell had to cut some corners, and the build quality could tell. The material was some sort of metal, but still like plasticky finish, which was very easy to scratch and dink. So I'd recommend you to walk around with a sleeve or some sort of skin. This laptop is by no means light. It weighs 5.14 pounds. I remember when I brought it to school for the first time, it wasn't a good experience on my back, but it shouldn't be an issue for you if you don't move around a lot like I do. On the left side, we have two USB 3.0 ports. We have a headphone output, microphone input combo, and also an Ethernet port. On the right side, we have USB 2.0, one HDMI port, and the CD drive, which nobody uses, but you could still swap it out for additional storage, which is a go. The keyboard is surprisingly decent with just 1.3mm of travel. The backlit keyboard is good, and it's also known as spill proof, as Dell said, but I'll definitely not try that out. I'll leave that up to the future. When I use the keyboard, I type 68 words per minute on the 10fastfingers.com typing test, which is a little bit poor in my opinion, but my 1% average error rate remained unchanged from my previous test. And also, Excel and Office masters will be thrilled to learn that this laptop still features a full number pad. The trackpad is mediocre. It has integrated buttons on the lower part where only a small white strip separates the left and the right buttons. Unfortunately, I haven't had the best moments with this trackpad. It was just always off for me. The surface is very smooth, which provides good cursor movements. Even if your fingers are moist, there won't be any problem, but it just tends to skip around a lot when you're tracking, and I would really advise you to use an external mouse for professional work. The 15.6-inch display is okay, but nothing too crazy to go about. Only if you love the touchscreen and you want to show off your friends that, hey, my laptop is touchscreen, blah blah blah. But because of that touchscreen, it gets really blurry when light reaches it. Even if you're inside and you open the windows, the glare is still there, so you always have to turn yourself from the window. But on the bright side, you will get a full HD TrueLife LED backlit touchscreen with a 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio, which is rare for something within 500 to 600 price range. The image quality is decent. As I said before, it's not the best. If you're editing something on Photoshop and then you transfer it to your iPhone, you'll see a completely different color scheme, and it was really what pissed me off, and that's why I had to upgrade to the Dell 7559. The webcam is decent. In addition, you get to also log in with facial recognition with Windows Hello, which also is very good for me, and this is the main feature that I miss with this laptop while upgrading to the 7559. The laptop is pretty bad when it comes on to video editing on Adobe Premiere Pro, and it tends to slow up when running Photoshop intensively due to all that chaos, the fans chipping. It gets loud, and you guessed it, it gets hot. I'm sure I can blame the 8GB RAM and the AMD A12 chip with the AMD Radeon R7 graphics, but if you get the higher end models, I don't think that this would be a problem, and you might not be disappointed with the performance. But the one I have sitting in front of me is the 8GB RAM model, AMD A12 chip, and the AMD R7 graphics. But I must say, the battery life on this sucks. It only lasts around 2 hours, and if you're gaming, you definitely need to use your laptop charger. It's like your best friend. So now, you'd be probably wondering, does it worth it? First off, I don't even understand why they put that AMD Radeon R7 graphics card on this laptop. It's not really powerful enough for any real gaming of the sort. It couldn't even handle Filmora when I wanted to color grade. So why didn't Dell just cut the So why didn't Dell just cut it and use the CPU's integrated graphics? Well, the AMD processor and a dedicated graphics card is basically the same because it does not have a dedicated GPU, which I didn't know while purchasing. I went to the guy at Microsoft, he said yes, it has a dedicated GPU. Then I went into Filmora, tried to enable that dedicated GPU, and the option wasn't there. So it's very misleading if you hear that this laptop has a dedicated GPU. So I thought it was a beast, but it isn't. So for the price, I don't think it's worth it. Maybe if you could get like a student discount like I did, it would be fine, but to spend over 600, high 600, 700 while tax on this laptop for like heavy gaming or heavy video editing, heavy Photoshop use is a crime. So let me know what you guys think of this review. It's my first laptop review on this channel. But anyways guys, peace.